Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I hope that you are well. I wanted to go ahead and review all of my recent purchases with y'all because I have been buying more makeup recently. I've done some Sephora hauls, I've done some Ulta hauls. I've just been perusing the drugstore, so I wanted to go ahead and share my opinions on the products that I've tried, that I've been trying consistently now because we have some favorites. We have some fails, unfortunately. I actually returned a few things, which I almost never do, but I was just really disappointed in the products and I was like, you know what, like I never return things. I'm gonna return this because I just know that I'm not gonna reach for it. So we have a lot of products to cover. Let's jump right on in. All right, y'all, so let me start off with something that's in front of me. And I kind of like feel sad just talking about it because I had high hopes for this product. Even still, just looking at it, I'm like, it is so beautiful, but it just doesn't work for me perfectly. I'm still trying to make it work, but I just wanted to give you guys my updated thoughts. So let's start off with the Patrick Ta Blush Duo in She's a Doll. I was so excited to try this because I have not tried that much from Patrick Ta, and also the two shades in here are such stunning, beautiful pinks. I'm such a pink blush girly right now. I was just so excited about this. I am wearing the powder blush on my cheeks today. The issue that I have with this is that I feel like the powder blush is just a little bit too pigmented. It is so intense, and I like a pigmented blush. Like, I like my blush to show, but the formula is kind of powdery, and I've tried it with multiple brushes, but I feel like every single time I pick it up and I put it on my cheek, it ends up being splotchy and patchy, and it's just because it is so pigmented, it doesn't want to blend out. I don't know if you guys can see, like, this was me trying to blend really hard, and still I feel like there's like a lump of pigment here. Like, it's not terrible, but I definitely don't think it looks great. And I have a ton of other pink blushes that I really love, so I just can't see myself reaching for the powder one here. I just can't get it to work for me. If any of y'all have this, if you have any tips, any specific brushes, any applications that you like to do with it, let me know because I want to make it work. But right now it's not working for me. The cream blush is pretty. It's like this really nice glowy formula. It looks beautiful on the cheeks. It blends out nicely. I can definitely see myself reaching for the cream blush out of this duo. Like, look how pretty it is. It's so dewy, so cute. But I'll show you guys, like, just barely touching it. So pigmented. I want to love it. Like, look at that color. It just doesn't work for me though. So there's what it looks like, all swatched out. Please send help. Oh, and by the way, for this video, I only included products that I myself purchased. But if you would like to see this as more of like a roundup of all my first impressions and everything that it's come into my life recently, let me know if you would like me to include PR in this, because I can, but I didn't for this video. So let's talk about two concealers that I picked up because I actually filmed a first impression with these and then I didn't make it live because, let me tell you the story. This is kind of, going down the rabbit hole, but I got the Shape Tape Radiant Concealer because I was so excited to try it. And then I also purchased the new Natasha Denona Concealer, and I tried one on one eye, tried one on the other eye. I was going to do a full day wear test, and then I ended up having to call because I had an issue with an appointment, and the receptionist lady was so mean. And I already get anxiety about stuff like that, and like I just like broke down in tears immediately. So the video was ruined because it was supposed to be a wear test and I was just like crying a lot. I don't understand why someone who's like supposed to be there to help you is so rude, but anyways, that video ended up getting scrapped, but I can still tell you guys my thoughts on the concealers because I've continued to wear them since. So the Natasha Denona Concealer, I am wearing it underneath my eyes right now. I have the shade Y1. It is a little bit yellow on me. It's not like my perfect shade, but I do really like it. If you are looking for a full coverage glam concealer, this is one that I would recommend. I don't feel like it gets dry underneath my eyes, but it is definitely matte. And the funny thing is that on the Sephora website, they advertise it as like a radiant matte finish or a luminous matte finish, one of those two. And I don't know where that's coming from. I would just call it a straight up matte. I don't think that it has any radiance or luminosity to it or anything like that. I'll swatch it for you guys, but my current favorite concealer is honestly the Thread Concealer, which I mentioned in my recent like drugstore favorites video. So there's the Natasha Denona. I mean, I guess it looks glowy right now, but it dries down matte. And then we also have the Radiant Shape Tape Concealer, which is in the shade 12N. And I like this, but I was slightly disappointed by it. I was expecting it to be like Shape Tape, where it has a really amazing amount of coverage, but be a more glowy option. Whereas this is more of just like a glowy, natural concealer. I feel like it has a light coverage. It has a beautiful finish, but it's just not really covering my dark circles or anything like that. And it does kind of remind me of the Thread concealer, but the Thread has more coverage to it and it's more affordable. So I would definitely reach for that over this one. I'll swatch it for you though. Here's what it looks like. And I was kind of surprised because the Tarte concealer is actually more expensive than the Natasha Denona. So there's what they look like. They're honestly completely different formulas, kind of hard to compare. But I do like both of them, but I'm not obsessed with either of them. I think the Natasha Denona one stands out more in my collection because I don't really have a whole bunch of like matte full coverage concealers. And then along the same lines, not a concealer, but I do have a corrector here from Rare Beauty. And I grabbed this because I was making an order from Kohl's for the Sephora sale because there was something I wanted from Rare Beauty, which actually I'm gonna mention in just a second. And I was trying to get free shipping and I saw that this was sold out on the Sephora app, but it was available on Kohl's and I was like, well, let me just try it. So I have the lightest shade. It's the shade Light, and I didn't really know anything about this, but I have to say, like, even though initially I was like, this is really cool because the applicator is like a little like cool egg and it feels really nice underneath the eyes. I do feel like it's a little gimmicky because I just don't know that it's big enough to like actually be doing anything, and like you'd have to like sit there and like continuously do this back and forth. I don't know how hygienic that is. And then like it doesn't actually blend the product in. You have to blend it in with something else, whether that be like a sponge, your finger, or brush, which I get that you wouldn't blend something in with like a doe foot applicator either, but just because it's like this, I don't know, it's kind of strange. And on top of that, I don't like the shade of the corrector. I don't really understand what's going on with it. It's just a very light, bright shade, and I don't understand what it's trying to correct. Like there's no undertone happening here. That's what it looks like. If you're gonna look for a corrector to help with your dark circles, under eyes, then I would go for the Becca Smashbox corrector. Like that actually has like a really nice shade range, and no matter where your skin tone is, I feel like they have a good corrector, whereas this is like, it just looks like maybe it's supposed to brighten, but it doesn't actually do anything. And I feel like every time I use this, like I'm using it, but I feel like I'm like basically wasting my time because it doesn't change the results of what's happening underneath my eyes. So this is kind of a fail. Like I want to love it. Like I'm about it. Like it's a little bit innovative, but as far as being functional, I don't know. I feel like y'all are about to call me just a negative Nancy because I do have so many negative things to say about things that I've tried, but it's just my honest opinion. So I also have a Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy, and I'm kind of neutral about this. Originally, I was disappointed because I feel like the shade in person is so different than the shade online. I thought it was gonna be like a hot pink blush, and it's not, but I have enjoyed using this mixed in with a liquid highlighter. I saw AMYLOVES do that in a TikTok, and then I did a TikTok trying it out, and I'm kind of obsessed. So I really like adding it in with the Melt liquid highlighter because this one's like a really pretty pinky shade, and I think it looks so beautiful and glowy, and it's just very, very cute. So I have been enjoying this for that, but it's still not the shade that I wanted it to be, which, I mean, I don't understand. Like online, it just looks so different. I'll do a little swatch for you guys. There's what it looks like. It's pretty. I just wish that it was like a little bit less rosy. Talk about something that I do like. I have this blush here from Huda Beauty, which I actually did mention in my recent favorites. I tried not to mention stuff that I've already talked about in my favorites because I didn't want it to be overkill, but I just want to mention this real quick because it was in my Sephora haul. This is the shade Proud Pink. It's the cheeky tint and it's so cute. I love the tone. I love the glow. It blends super nice. It's just easy to use. I love it. Like it is so pretty. Honestly, been my go-to pink blush. I am packing up some travel makeup right now for something that's coming up, and this is like, I already had to pull it out of my suitcase, so that's going with me for sure. I have this blush from Too Faced. This is the Cloud Crush blush in the shade Candy Clouds. I don't know what it is. The Cloud Crush blurring blush in Candy Clouds. It's so hard to say. I was so excited about this because the packaging is so cute. I purchased this in person and I was like, I love it. I love the product inside as well. The issue with this blush is that it is so hard to open. It has like this little thing here, this little heart, and I'm telling you guys, every time I try to open this, I struggle. It doesn't matter if I have fake nails. It doesn't matter if I use tweezers. Like, why? Why is this so hard to open? I don't understand. The blush is super pretty. It blends nice, has good pigmentation. It's a super cute pink moment. Like, I love it. I want to use it, but it does not make it easy. I also got the Too Faced Pinker Times Ahead, which I really love, and it also has very easy to open packaging, which we appreciate. This is actually what I have in my inner corner right now because I thought it was just like a cute little moment. This has been my go-to pinky highlighter. I don't wear highlighter every day anymore. I have been wanting a pink glow. I've been reaching for this a ton. I love it because it really does show up pink on your cheeks. There's what it looks like right there. It's super, super pretty. So let's talk about the products that I returned from my Sephora VIB haul. This makes me sad. I actually can't believe that I returned this eyeshadow palette, but I ended up returning the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I wanted to buy that palette for so long. I loved the color story for so long. I love cool tone shadows. I was finally like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna try it. Like, I don't know. I was just ready for it. And then I ended up getting it, and the quality was good. I will say that, like, no issues with quality, but I felt like so many of the shimmer shades, even though it was a cool tone palette, were pulling like this like weird goldy shade on me. And you guys know I hate a boring gold. Like, gold can be done so amazingly or so badly, just depending. And I just felt like so many of the shades, I was just like putting them on my eyelids, and then I didn't end up happy with the look. Oh yeah, I'm sad about that. And then along with that, in the order, I ended up returning 2 things from Kosas. So I got their like little glowy, illuminating, I thought it was supposed to be like a skin tint. It was actually like this like sunscreen glowy product. And I hated it because, for one, I realized that it did have chunks of glitter in it. At first, I thought that it didn't. But then when I wore it by itself, I was like, no, that's glittery. And it also was not meshing with other products on my face. If I just put it over like a moisturizer, it would peel and flake. If I put it in with foundations, it would like make them patchy. It was just honestly such a hot mess. And I have actually I don't have it with me right now, but the e.l.f. sunscreen glowy product. I feel like they're the same vibe, but the e.l.f. one is amazing and the Kosas one was trash. So that one, like, I tried to make it work and I was just like, this needs to go. Probably one of the worst products I've tried in a long time. And then I also returned the Kosas bronzer, their new bronzer. I was excited about it because I liked their old bronzer. It was glowy. I was like, this is gonna be my new go-to, but it was so orange. The lightest shade of their old bronzer was like a good neutral tone, and the new one was just like bam, orange cheeks, and it just didn't work for me, unfortunately. That one was less of a formula issue, and I just didn't like the shade. And I probably wouldn't have returned the bronzer. I would have tried to make it work if it wasn't for the fact that I was already returning the other 2 products. I was like, you know what? We're just, this isn't gonna work for me. So that is what happened. From that haul though, I did get this Glossier stretch concealer, and I do like it. I don't enjoy it for underneath my eyes. I feel like it doesn't quite have enough coverage, but I have been using it for spot concealing, and it's like the perfect color for me right now. It's G12. I have like a little bit of a tan, and the Ariana Grande Rem Beauty Concealer, which I love. Unfortunately does not work for me right now for spot concealing. It just like makes my pimples super white. So it's not the vibe at the moment, but I have been reaching for this and using it. It's good. I do feel like I like the Rem Beauty Concealer more. And if I could go back in time, I would probably just get the Rem Beauty Concealer in another shade. But I do like it, and I tried something different. I'm pretty sure this is the only product that I own from Glossier, but I just saw they came out with a cloud paint in like a really cute pinky color, and I might pick that up. Maybe. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the Ilia Volumizing Mascara. So I picked this up on a whim because I felt like I remembered hearing people say good things about it, and then I was like, wait, I've actually tried this because I had the mini and I really liked the mini. And after trying the full size, I must say, if you have tiny eyes, I don't know that this mascara is for us. I just feel like this wand is so big, I cannot get in there without making a mess. I don't know, every once in a while I try a mascara and I'm like, yeah, like technically it's good, but it's just kind of a pain to apply. So the thing with this one is that I still really like the mini, and the mini is smaller and like easier to get in, and it's the same great formula. So I actually just got a mini. I have like the little packaging here. I put it in my travel makeup bag to bring with because it's tiny and it's perfect. So for this in the future, I could see myself repurchasing the minis, but definitely not the full size. So those are the reviews for all of my recent purchases. If there's anything that you're like, oh wait, you didn't talk about this, I did do a drugstore favorites recently where I reviewed a bunch of stuff that I've also tried recently. How many times can a girl say recently? So I'll make sure to link that video in the cards because that has more information and I don't want to get too repetitive. But that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Bye.